everyone. Welcome back to the Animation Revaluation podcast. I am your host, Lizer, and with me is the other host, Celeste, who just hosted the stream. What's up, Celeste?
Hey, I'm back. It's me, Celeste.
It's you, Celeste. You're really committed to making it more cringy each time,
Yeah,
huh?
I
Oh,
am actually.
man. We had a little break. We had a 1 week break, but we're back. And
Yes.
got a little treat for you guys this week. Or at least I hope that it's considered a treat by both of us. It's a treat for me. I like it. But but
He liked it a
I
lot.
liked it a lot.
Okay, oops, I hit my thing. Anyways, so do you want to talk about it first, and then I give you my opinions and stuff?
Yeah, I'll put in a brief summary. Um, or as brief as I can make it, of just basically the whole thing, I guess. So this week or these 2 weeks, we watched an anime called A Place Further Than the Universe. It was produced by Studio Madhouse in 2018, and it's based on the manga of the same name, which was written by Juki Hanada. And if you don't know who that is, that's the same person who wrote other popular animes such as No Game No Life, Steins Gate, and the Love Live series. And basically, it's about four high school age girls, Mari Tamaki. As a matter of fact, let me put up the pictures of them as I'm talking about them. Mari, where's Mari? This is Mari Tamaki. Next up is Shirase Kobuchizawa. And I'm probably butchering these names. I am
Try our
sorry.
best.
I am an ignorant American man. But this is
We try our best.
yeah, this is Shirase. Uh Hinata Miyake. Where is she? There she is. Hina.
Try.
And Yuzuki Shiraishi. Shiraishi?
Shiraishi.
Shiraishi?
Shiraishi. Shiraishi.
Where's her picture? There it is. Bada bing, bada boom. And these four girls all join up together and go on this big grand journey to Antarctica. And for about the first half of the series, we see the girls in Japan learning their backstories and seeing how they all come together to realize this goal that they have. And what I thought was cool was that they actually don't know each other at all in the beginning. Like the first episode, we're introduced to Mari and Shirase. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn about the other girls as it goes on, and we get to see their relationship grow and strengthen itself. And then the second half of the series shows the actual journey to, and spoiler alert, eventual arrival in Antarctica. But before I get into any specifics, I want to ask, what did you think of the show, Celeste?
Okay, I am actually shooketh about this anime. When you told me I was gonna watch about girls wanting to go to Antarctica,
Uh huh.
and I remember I even asked you. Why do they want to go to Antarctica because of penguins or something? You're like, yeah. So I legit in my head thought this anime was about girls being obsessed with penguins, and it was gonna be one of those animes where it's just like they're so obsessed with penguins. I'm just gonna get like knowledge about penguins, and I was like, fuck. I really don't want to watch a show, and nothing against penguins. I love penguins, but I really don't want to watch an anime about girls being obsessed with penguins.
Mhm.
But boy, was I wrong. That was
Mhm.
that was not what I was expecting. Um, I actually first episode right away loved it.
Yep.
Right away loved it.
Yes.
I was like, holy crap, no, freaking Lizer, what the hell? Because like until I don't know if you can hear me in the last episode where I'm like, is it an all girls anime? Because usually, like, no offense to my gender, it's annoying when it's because it's. I mean, to me, it's like, well, even like other anime, it's like I have to have like, more than one because I don't know. To me, it's amusing that way.
Yeah, because
But
usually
anyway,
all girls animes are just like sickly sweet.
yes, yes, and it's just like I like sweet anime, but not to that extent. It's like holy crap,
Yeah,
like
the funny thing
no.
is, I was originally going to say we should watch. There's an anime called New Game, and it's like an all-girl, sickly sweet anime about developing video games. And like it has some good moments, but I don't think it's to the level of this anime.
No, this anime was so good,
Hmm.
and but no, like I said, there's drama. I was not expecting the drama to be like I said. I was expecting like this cutesy, no problems. They're just gonna do whatever they want to do. Like I legit thought these girls going to Antarctica, like, oh, they're gonna be like, oh, let's go to Antarctica, and then they just magically go to Antarctica. But no, it's like you see them. It's like, okay, you want to go to Antarctica, you got to go get a part-time job. So she gets a part-time job, and then it's like, oh, you got to do this. Oh, like, oh, my mom. By the way, did you know there's a famous scene in this anime that goes around the internet? And I actually saw this scene, and I didn't know where it came from, and I always wondered where did this clip came from,
I actually
and
had
it's
that as a talking point. I wanted to see if you noticed it, but go ahead and enlighten everyone.
yeah. Yeah, so there's a scene in the anime where they're talking to, I guess, one of the teachers or a principal, and they're talking about like, oh, did you get permission slips from your parents? And the girl was like, yeah, of course, here's my permission slip. And they're like, they look at the other girl. I'm trying to remember her name, the main one,
Kimari.
Kimari. And then Kimari's like, oh, like no. And so then it's the scene where the mom's in the kitchen cutting vegetables, and it's Kimari and her younger sister Rin. It's funny, I remember Rin because Rin's such an easy name to remember.
Of course.
So she's like, and the sister's like, does she know? Like she's acting kind of too normal. And so the mom's like, oh, Kimari, can you get bath salts out of the grocery bag? And so Kimari goes and she looks through the bag and she finds this thing that literally says like Antarctica on it. And she's like, crap,
She
she knows.
knows.
And so then like the sister like closed the door,
Oh yeah, the
like
sister
leaving.
just dips.
Yeah.
She's
So she
gone.
Yeah, so she closes the door, and then like she's like talking to her mom, and the mom's like, oh, like, were you gonna tell me about this? And then she's like, I was.
Here's the
And
paperwork.
yeah. And she's like, oh, so who was the one that signed it? Me. Oh, so who's the one that stamped it? Me. And then so the mom gets angry, rightfully so, because she hears her daughter forging like her signature and stuff. And so then like the daughter like books it, and the mom's just like walking with the ladle in her hand. And so then she's like, mom, calm down. And then her dad opens the door. He's like, I'm home. And then she's like, Dad, save me. And then the dad looks up, sees the mom like really pissed off, and then he closes the door.
Yeah, he just holds it closed from his end. He's just like, I'm sorry, my daughter.
And then she's just like she's screaming like Dad, Dad, save me, Dad.
That is the funniest moment in the show. It's so fucking funny to me. And that's the
But
first time
yeah,
we see the dad.
that's yeah. And but that scene is actually really famous, and it goes around the internet. Like
Mm.
I've seen that clip multiple times on different platforms, and I've always wanted to know. Like, I mean, I could have looked it up, but me being lazy and shit.
Well, I mean, you would have looked it up and you would have seen, oh, it's from a show about girls wanting to go to Antarctica. Okay, that's boring.
Yeah, but no, but dude, I was like shooketh, and I was like, I wanted to tell you right away. I was like, did you know that this scene is
Oh
famous? But
man.
I wanted to. I was like, no, I'll hold back for the podcast. I'll hold back.
That's so funny. I was gonna ask you, like, you haven't seen that before?
So I no, it goes around. I kid you not. I see that scene like maybe once a month. Like
Yeah.
that shit goes around the internet like all the time.
Oh man, yep, that's that's a famous scene. Um, so when I described it to you, you thought it was just, oh, girls going to see penguins in Antarctica. Do you want to enlighten everyone on what the real reason is that they want to go to Antarctica for?
So the real reason why they want to go to Antarctica, well, first of all, what's the other girl's name again? I totally forgot.
Shirase?
Shirase, the one with the long hair, right?
Yeah.
So Shirase, she actually, Himari actually accidentally bumps. Well, she doesn't bump into her, but Shirase like runs past her, and she like drops an envelope full of like 1 million yen. And so Kimari is looking for the owner, and so she ends up finding her, and she's like, "Holy, like why you have all this money?" And she's like, "I want to go to Antarctica." And that's based, and so she's basically telling her, "I want to go to Antarctica," and then we find out her mom's missing, and I think she's dead. Is she dead?
Yeah.
So she, yeah, so they're saying that she's missing. You know, how many? 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years? Yeah, I think it's 3 years.
The how far did you get again? You said episode 7.
I went up to episode 7.
Okay, so Celeste didn't actually finish it, but she got pretty far, and I'm guessing just from the reaction so far, she does plan on finishing it.
I
Um,
am gonna finish watching
I've
it.
I've seen it a few times before, but in this rewatch, I watched the whole thing again. The people watching are basically supposed to know, due to like flashbacks and such, that the mother's dead. But to her, she's still holding on to this little semblance of hope that she can
That
find her.
Yeah, that she can find her.
Yeah. But
But basically,
yeah.
yeah. But she's the one that kind of like plants the idea. Like, so she plants the idea in Kimari's head. And Kimari's like, yeah, like I want to go because she wants to do something like in her youth. Like she wants to do like anything crazy. She wants to travel while she's still young. So she takes this opportunity to like step out of her shell and do it. But then it does become like she wants to go, like she really wants to do this.
Yeah, it becomes a
Like,
spur of the moment thing to no, I actually want to do this.
yeah. So the idea was planted, but she grew it herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then so the other girl, Hinata,
Yeah.
Hina, she overhears them talking about it. Hina works in a convenience store, so they're getting some stuff, and she overhears them. And she then Kimari, I don't, what's her name, right? Kimari.
Kimari, yeah, that's her nickname.
Kimari, she gets a part-time job at that same convenience store, and that's when Hina's like, "Hey, I want to join you guys. Like, you guys seem interesting. This whole thing seems interesting. Like, I want to do it." And so then that's how she gets involved. And then the other girl that gets involved is because she's actually an influencer, and she's being forced to go by her momager. Wait, no, am I even allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Her her momager. Um, she has to do this trip. Cause I think they're sponsoring them or something like that.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
don't know.
something like that. They don't make it 100% clear.
Cause I remember they're talking about like some money issues, and the momager like appears out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden like, oh, it's a green light. That's what.
I'm
So
not
that's
so
like,
sure if it's like a sponsorship thing or if it's just like this is gonna get you more publicity, so people
uh-huh.
will sponsor it.
Yeah, that so she has to go, but she ends up she doesn't want to go, but the girls convince her, and so she wants to go because of the girls, because she wants to make friends,
Yeah.
and she really likes them, and so she's like, yeah, I'll do this for you
Right.
guys.
So we learn throughout the show, we learn the backstory of each girl. So as you said, Kimari, she wants to change from her life. She feels like she hasn't really done much. She went as far as to say she hates herself. Just
Hmm.
before she leaves, she tells her best friend that she hates herself and that she needs to change and she needs to push herself to change. Shirase, she's looking for her mother. Hinata, you haven't gotten to it yet, but we actually find out that she was pretty popular in high school. She was on the track team and was like an ace. And she actually wins. I guess they like within the track team they were competing to see who would go on to like the next big meet, and she wins the spot. And all the seniors are mad at her because this is her last. This is their last time to do it in high school. They were gonna graduate, so they start to bully her, and she eventually leaves school, quits the team, and just ditches everything. Um, and she's just been a loner since then. So this was
That
like
ex-
her change.
that explains why she runs so fast during that one
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
I was like, but everybody was like, "Holy crap!" Like this girl knows her forms. What the heck?
Her forms.
But she
Oh
was fast.
yeah. She was fast.
She was fast
and
compared
then
to the other two.
and then as you said, we have the last one. Her mother treats her less as a mother and more as a employee, or she acts like her manager, just 100%.
Mm-hmm.
For Yuzuki, and I don't know, it was just it was such a weird vibe to get that from her mother, because I don't even think the mother says much aside from like a single scene.
Yeah, and when we even get like another scene with the mom is basically telling the girls to convince her to go to Antarctica, and that's it.
Yeah, and like
Like,
if you can convince her, I'll hook some stuff up so you can go too.
yeah, so like she was basically, like what you said, like she wasn't talking to them like as a mother, she was talking to them as her manager.
Yeah, and even in her daily high school life, because she's like a Japanese idol slash actress, and she has like a lot of projects going on. She's been doing this since she was a little younger. She's a year younger than the rest of them. Um, it it shows us like in her class, she would go up to students like, "Hey, do you want to be my friend?" They're like, "Oh yeah, sure. Hey, by the way, can we get a picture with you to put it up? Celebrities are all the rage." And she's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's like a contract thing. Maybe she can get her pictures taken or something." But as soon as she denies them that, they just ignore her. Like
Yeah,
she'll text in the group chat and they'll just not reply, and then they actually leave the group chat when she leaves for Antarctica. They just leave it when she checks her phone.
no, and it's funny too because they leave right before she really confirms she wants to go.
Right.
And she has that dream with the other girls that they want, to be friends and stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
when they're like on the ladder.
one of what's cool too, like the girls, like at first they're like, oh, we don't want to trick her, like it's messed up to like try to convince her and stuff like that.
Uh huh.
And but you know, it's cool that they're upfront, like, yeah, your mom put us up to this.
Yeah, exactly. It's all Kimari. She's so pure-hearted.
Yeah.
Um, but eventually they're able to convince her to go, and they all go along with her. So they finally meet up with like the rest of the group that's going to be going. I'm not gonna go through every single character because that's incredibly annoying. But
There's a lot of characters too.
the captain is this lovely lady right here, and her name is Gin or Gin. I don't really know how to pronounce it.
I think
And she was actually a childhood friend of Shirase's mother, and went on the expedition with her when she got lost. She was actually the last person to hear her voice, or at least that's how they portray it. Um, this is the mother, by the way. She actually looks a lot like her daughter, just with shorter hair and smiling. But that's the captain, Gin. And then there's also the co-captain, I guess you can call her, Kanae. And she's just like bright and bubbly, alcoholic. But she's like the one that basically teaches the girls everything that they need to do, because they go on like a like week long training camp where they learn how to put down the flags and how to use the compass, how to do all
that's
the call
important.
signs and stuff, like, yeah, all the really important stuff. And she does that. She was also on the last trip with Gin and Tokiko, but it's not really revealed if she was also a childhood friend or if she met them during that or not. Maybe in the manga. I always planned to read the manga but never got around to it. But she's like the ultimate sweetheart as well. But
She is.
they all go. They the girls actually have to board a plane first and go to Australia before they can board the boat, which is weird, but whatever. And they have the problem where Hinata lost her passport, and that became like a whole big thing. And it just turns out that one of the other girls had it, so that gets solved like in one episode.
Yeah.
But eventually they're able to finally get to Antarctica. And did you episode
I
7. I don't think
I,
they get there
I
by the
don't
time you watch.
know. Episode 7, they're still boat scene, shopping. Like they're still prepping for the trip, for the boat trip.
So they haven't even gotten seasick yet.
No, they haven't gotten seasick. Like I got to it's the scene where they're still able to like walk around before the boat docks and stuff.
Uh huh.
And I there's two side characters, and then I don't remember if it's her or not, but they're out drinking and they're like spying on them because
Yeah,
they're
it's
trying to
her.
get more information. Yeah, they're trying to get more information, and they're like wearing all these like masks and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's funny. It's funny because like you just like it's like an open bar, like an outside bar, and so they're sitting like right by a wall. It's like one of those short walls,
Mm-hmm.
and so you could, as like pedestrians are walking by, you just see them looking to their direction. And it was funny because the whole time I'm like, why do they keep looking? And then it's a scene with the girls like on the floor wearing the mask. And I was like, oh.
And then she actually sees them, and she's like, "Oh, high school girls in masks," and they just drop to the floor.
And the guy stands up to look. He's
It's
like,
like,
I don't see no one.
where? What are you talking about? They just assume that she's just drunk and rambling. It like they make every character so likable. I don't think there's a single character, even those that like, at least for the main cast, that like do wrong, that I don't like.
Dude, I saw right away that Kimari's friend was gonna be a bitch.
Yeah, but she actually does redeem herself.
Did she redeem herself
Yes,
later on?
yes. So for
Okay.
some insight on that, Kimari has a friend since childhood named Megumi, and she's like your basic glasses wearing girl. She's just like generic looking. I mean, she's a side
She's
character, so I don't expect them to do too much.
No, but she's actually pretty. Like
Yeah,
I think she's actually pretty too. Like even when she like puts her hair down, she's wearing glasses, or when she takes her glasses off, she's drawn really like she's I think she's pretty.
yeah, but she complains early on about how she's the one that Kimari always goes to. She runs to her. She's like the big sister role, always having to give out advice and stuff like that. Um, and they're best friends and they're always around each other. But then, as the plot furthers and we get closer and closer to Kimari leaving to, I was about to say Australia, which I mean is technically true, but to Antarctica. Um, you
The
see
Australia
she's,
first in
yeah,
Antarctica.
you see her mood shifting, and like she doesn't really do anything at first. She's just observing, but then like Kimari comes over with the original PlayStation that she apparently borrowed from her and lost a couple years ago. Um, and like they're playing together, and she's talking about Shirase and all the other girls, and she just like gets up in the middle of Kimari talking, and like purposefully unplugs the PlayStation so the game would shut off, but she acts like it was an accident. And she like the day before that they're going to leave, everyone in the class is like, "Oh, bring us back souvenirs. We'll miss you so much." And she approaches Kimari and she's like, "Hey, there was this rumor going around that like you did this and that, and like you were trying to seduce guys for money, and the other girls hear about it and they're like, we gotta approach this person and get them to stop spreading these rumors." And it actually turns out that it was her. She reveals this the morning that Kimari's leaving. She comes to her house just as she's leaving.
She
Uh-huh.
to break up. So this scene right here hit me so hard when she came up to her and be like, we should break up.
Uh-huh.
And this hit me hard because this brought me back to, I kid you not, and this is probably gonna sound like childish, but I remember in elementary school at my childhood friend who was also my next door neighbor. I remember one time we were playing and she told me, she's like let's not be friends no more. And that hit me so
Yeah,
hard.
that kind of stuff hurts.
Yeah, so that hit me so hard, and I remember, and I remember too looking at her, and I'm like, why? Like, why don't you want to be my friend no more? And like, she would like talk to me, but like I refused. Yeah, I was like, no, like, just like how Kimari is like, I reject your breakup.
Yeah.
And I literally told my friend like, no, we're still gonna be friends. Like we're gonna be friends. Whatever is happening between us, we're gonna get over it.
Mm.
Come on, this is by the way, this is me in elementary school.
Yeah, these girls are high schoolers.
No, this is me elementary. Well, elementary going to middle school. Elementary going to be middle school. So uh, I was like close to teenager around
Right,
that time.
right.
So I remember telling her, "I was like, no, we're gonna get through this. Whatever it is. Me and New York still gonna be friends." And yeah, still friends, still friends till this day. But that scene was so personal for me. I was like, holy crap, like that actually just that happened to me in real life.
There's a lot of little moments in this show that like can hit you really hard, just out of
Yeah.
nowhere. Like you'll be laughing and then you're just like, oh, oh
Like
god.
like people, you guys don't understand. Like I love like drama. Like I love realism. Like yeah, I do love my fantasy anime, but when it comes to real stuff like this, is like I like it sucks me in because it's like holy crap, like this shit like really does happen.
Yeah, definitely. This is a
And so that
very realistic show.
it is, and that's why right away, episode one, I was like, "This is not what I thought." Like I said, I thought it was gonna be a bunch of girls imagining penguins, obsessed with penguins. Like, oh, we gotta go because the penguin, or this is my favorite penguin. Like, give me knowledge about penguins. Like, I legit thought this is what the anime was gonna be about, but I was so wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong because I really enjoyed it. Well, I'm still enjoying it. I am definitely gonna finish it.
I'm glad. um, Now I'm going to spoil something for you.
Okay.
And since we're talking about, things that can hit you hard, um, episode 12 of this anime breaks my heart each time I watch it. And what it consists of is the girls visit the area where Shirase's mother last visited before she disappeared. And at this point, Shirase has already accepted that her mother's gone. Like we see it throughout the show. Like I need to get there for my mother. I need to get there. I need to get there. And by the time they get there, she just really doesn't bring it up anymore. She was a bit awkward with the captain at first, but they start talking and they talk about her mother and it like clears things up between them. They're not 100%, but it's something. But she's kind of dropped the notion that she's gonna find her mother. She's accepted that her mother's gone. So they get to this like mini base that the crew had 3 years ago, and she's like, okay, give it up. We're not gonna find anything. It's been so long. Blah blah blah. But the other girls are just frantic, and they're searching every nook and cranny that they can find. And they actually do find the mother's old laptop, and on it there's a picture taped to it, and it's the mother and her when she was a child. Um, and she's just like silent. She's looking at it, and just she doesn't say anything. So they take it back to the base where they each have their own room, and she goes into her room with it, and the other three girls wait outside. And she plugs it in, powers it on, and like gives it a second. It goes up to like the Windows boot screen where you gotta put in your password.
Mm-hmm.
And she tries the mother's birthday at first, and it tells her it's wrong. So she looks over at where the picture is. So she tries her birthday, and it unlocks. And as soon as it unlocks, the email client that the mother was using loads up, and now that she's on base and has a connection, the computer starts to download all the emails that she was sending her mother every day for the last 3 years since she disappeared.
Oh wow.
And that's where she just breaks, and she starts screaming for her mother and crying, and the girls are waiting out in the hall and they can hear this, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just absolutely losing it as well. And every single time I see it, even if I just see a clip of it, I don't even have to see the whole episode. Just a clip of it, I just can't. I can't do it. It breaks me every time.
I I'm so relieved it's the laptop they found because in my like I was like I swear like I better not like I don't want her to stumble upon like even a piece of clothing. Like that would like
Oh no, dude, when I first watched it, my very first viewing ever, I was like, oh my god, they're gonna find like her skeleton or something, and that's just gonna be
yeah,
horrible.
yeah, no, that's what I was thinking like her skeleton or like even a piece of clothing. I'm like I swear they better not stumble upon any of that shit. Like
Yeah.
I know I would break.
One cool little thing, and you can keep an eye out for this since you're gonna watch it. Um, it zooms in and it shows like the inbox filling up with all the dear mom things.
Mhm.
A couple like layers underneath that is an outbox, and it has one message in it. So like if you send an email but you don't have internet connection, it just saves it to the outbox, and whenever you have connection, you have to manually go in there and send it.
Huh.
There is one email in there, and we don't get to see what it is because she doesn't even notice. She's just so focused on that and just like all her crying and everything. Um,
Mhm.
but in the very last episode, as they're leaving, she gives Captain Gin the laptop, and she's like, "I don't need this anymore." Like she's finally moving on,
Mhm.
and Gin takes it and realizes that there's one message in the outbox. And have you seen any of the flashbacks yet?
With this, what kind of flashbacks?
Like with the mother?
No, I don't think there. I've seen.
So they
I
keep
think.
showing this one flashback of Geen. She's in the snowcat, and she's yelling like, "Where is she? Where is she?" And she gets on her radio. The mother is like, she connects again, and she's like, "It's so beautiful. The sky is so beautiful," or something along those lines.
Mhm.
And that's like, to our knowledge, that's the last words she ever says.
Uh huh.
And what's in the outbox is actually a picture of the aurora borealis that she was going to send to her daughter, and it just says, "It's so beautiful."
That's sad.
Yes, so Geen sends it, and on the boat Shirase gets it, and she's like, 3 years later, suddenly getting a message from your mother, who you finally accepted is gone, and you're getting this on your phone now. And it's just as she's looking up at the aurora borealis, she gets the picture from her mother saying, "This is so beautiful." And it's like they were able to share this one final moment together. And I feel like I'm gonna cry.
I know. I feel like I'm gonna cry too. That's so sad. I want to cry. Like I want to legit cry. That's so sad.
The great thing about this too is that I'm telling you this, it's not gonna take away from it at all when you see it.
Mhm. No, I bet it's not.
And
Like guys, seriously, like this anime is so underrated.
oh yeah,
So underrated.
definitely. Um, and like one final spoiler thing that I just find funny is, remember I said that the friend actually redeems herself.
Mhm.
Throughout the trip, um, God, how did I blank on the main character's name?
Kimari?
Kimari, yeah. So throughout the trip, Kimari has been updating her. We don't really get to see
Mhm.
it until the final episode where she shows us like the screen. And like on the way back, she's like, "I'm on my way back." She gets home. She finally says, "I'm home," and it just shows the screen. And the friend actually texts her back, and she's like, "Oh, that's too bad." And we're like, "What? Like you're gonna be a bitch?" And then she
Uh-huh.
actually says, "Because I'm in the Arctic," and she sends a picture, and she's in Antarctica.
Oh, shut up.
It's kind of small, but there it is.
Oh, shut up. She ends up going.
She ends up going as soon as Kimari comes back home. She leaves. She finally decides to move forward with herself as well, and figures that'd be the best way.
For context, during the fight, Kimari invites her to go along to Antarctica.
Yeah, which would have been way too late anyway.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like that was a great way to redeem herself right there. They can have a shared experience, even though they didn't share it together. They both understand.
Hmm.
The one thing
Guys,
that confused me though was that like as they're leaving, the team was like, "Oh, there's nobody coming." So
what do you mean?
like
Like,
when the girls left the base,
uh-huh.
they're like,
Uh-huh.
usually at this point the winter team and the summer team would swap places, but nobody's coming this year. It's just us, so we're gonna stay, and the high school girls are going home.
Uh-huh.
So I'm guessing she didn't go to the same group that Kimari and the girls went to. She probably went to, uh,
Another one.
yeah, because there's a new group with like a new ship that I think was leaving a little later. So maybe she went with
Uh-huh.
them.
Oh, is that the rival one you mentioned before?
Yeah,
Hey, she's with the rival.
yeah, because like the rival one is like funded by sponsors and everything because they're just a private like scientific group,
Uh-huh.
and this one is like a public, like civilians can come on.
Uh-huh.
which still doesn't make sense because she's a civilian. But whatever. It's the last episode. It's a little throwaway thing at the end.
It's cute
Maybe the
though.
manga builds up on it more. I don't know.
Read the manga
Read the manga and watch the anime.
and watch the seriously watch the anime.
Yeah.
Like I shit you not, everybody. Like I thought it's gonna be one of those cutesy animes, and I was gonna be like, no, another one of these. But no, this one. And now that I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking about, okay, so you know what? I'll mention it when it's my turn to name the anime we're gonna watch.
Oh, okay. Um, but I like that. I guess in a way I've subverted your expectations twice because this is the second all girl anime I've shown you. Because the first one was the first one we did, Survival Games Club, and that also wasn't like all cutesy sweet.
It's not that I like everybody. It's not like I don't like all cutesy, because I do like cutesy, but for some reason when it's an all female cast, it's just worse.
Oh no, I get you. And that's actually when I first saw it. That's what I expected because, like I said, this is the same person that did Love Live and God, what is that? Idolmaster and like those kind of shows. They're like all written by the same guy or girl. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Juki Hanada. I don't know if that's a man or a woman or other. I don't know the pronouns. Forgive me. But they did all of those shows as well as things like Steins Gate and No Game No Life. So given the track record, I was like, okay, it's obviously not an action-packed thing, and I really doubt it's going to be like super mind-breaking like Steins Gate. So it's going to be like girly, girly, cutie, Love Live type stuff. And it wasn't, and I was really pleasantly surprised. Even though I liked Love Live, that's like a guilty pleasure of mine.
I gotta watch Love Live. I have a lot of friends who says the songs are good, so
Yeah,
I
the
gotta give
songs are
that a
pretty
try.
good. Yeah.
I gotta give that a try.
I don't know what goddamn thing they're saying, but man, does it sound good. Love Live is yeah, I liked it a lot. That's like I said, it's my guilty pleasure, and there was also a couple scenes in there that made me like tear up a little. But
Hmm.
I guess it's a good track record for the writer. And I know you like Steins Gate.
Steins Gate is good. Steins Gate like mind effed me so bad because it's so confusing sometimes that I have to literally watch and be like, I did not understand. Let me go back and like figure out what the hell just happened.
are there um are there any scenes from this show that you want to like touch on that you saw?
So I definitely touched on the one scene, like the famous scene that I mentioned about.
Yeah.
Um, oh, honestly, like I'm enjoying everything from it.
Mhm.
Like, like I said, it was such a shocker. I love so the best friend, Kimari's best friend.
Uh huh.
Like I know we touched up on it, but like seriously, like that scene right there too. Real like that's another scene that really hit me hard. And just people give it a shot. Like seriously, it's a good anime.
Mhm. Yeah,
But those,
it's
but
really well written, really well acted. Like you actually feel like you're not watching, an anime. You feel like you're watching real people.
mhm,
You just get sucked in.
I got sucked in.
Yeah. A funny little thing is the one that's an idol. There's a dude on the crew that we every time we see him he's just working out because you need a
Uh-huh.
lot of stamina and strength to do the things that they're doing out there. So he just seems like this like beefhead, you know,
Mhm.
and we see him looking at her a couple times and we're like, is this guy like perving on her? Like what's happening here? And it actually
Uh-huh.
turns out that he's a big fan of hers.
Oh
And
my
in the
god.
last episode, he goes up to her and he has her CD and he asks her to sign it. And she does. And he's like, by the way, I heard about the drama you were casted in. Because just as as they're leaving, she gets the information that she was cast in a new drama.
Mhm.
He's like, I heard about it. I can't wait to watch it. Although I won't be able to watch it until I get back, but that'll be a while, so most likely it'll be finished. But I'm looking forward to it, and that kind of like cements to her that there's people out there who actually watch her stuff, because she starts to doubt that a little bit. And I
Mhm.
thought that was such a cool scene just to like throw in there. It's like every girl gets her moment in this show. Like it doesn't feel like they're side characters. It feels like they're
Mhm.
all main characters, and they all get the moment of like, here's her issue, and a couple episodes later, here's her resolving that issue within herself.
Mhm.
The show's really good, guys.
10 out of 5.
Yeah, 10 out of 5.
10 out of 5. I really enjoyed it.
It's funny how this was the longest one we did because we did a full season, but it's also the shortest podcast to date. There's really
It's
not much to say except it's good. Check it out.
good. Check it out. Highly recommend it.
Have tissues.
Yes, definitely have tissues. I'm gonna try to have tissues.
Yep. As soon as episode 12 starts, just have tissues.
A
Uh,
There's 13 episodes.
yeah. So you've already confirmed that you'll watch it, you'll finish it. We've
I'm
already
probably gonna
rated
finish.
it.
I'm probably gonna finish it tonight. Like I just didn't have time to finish it today.
Oh, dude,
I wish I
let me
did.
know when you get to episode 12, because I want to see your reaction.
I'll be, like live blogging, but I won't be blogging. I'll just be live chatting to you.
Yeah. um. Okay, but now it's your turn to announce next week's thing. And if you have a picture of it, you can upload it so I can show everyone.
Okay, so I was debating really hard on what anime I should do. At first, I was like, oh, let me do or a show that I haven't watched and you haven't watched, or hopefully you haven't watched, and we both can talk about it and be surprised about it.
Mm-hmm.
But after watching this brought me back memories of another anime that I watched like years ago. And it is called I'm probably gonna butcher it. Hanasaku Iroha. Let me put a picture.
Is
It's
there
another all it's another all girl cast.
Hanasaku Iroha Blossoms for Tomorrow? Huh. Is this gonna
So
make me cry?
there are some moments
God
that even I
fucking
cried.
damn it.
This it reminded me of this one because I'm out because when I was watching this, a future no a place further than oh my gosh, a place further than the name of the anime I forgot.
A place further than the universe.
It's further than the universe. Gosh damn it. Anyways, it brought me back to this anime because I remember watching this anime a few years ago, and I was like, holy crap! Like this has like it talks about like real issues too. So I was like, I definitely want to see if you have you seen this one yet or no?
No, I've never even heard of it. Let me see if I can get a
Yeah,
better picture.
I recommend this one. This one, I really like this one.
Okay.
It's the same size.
It pops up on my screen a little bigger,
Oh,
I think. Yeah, definitely.
it pops the same size for me.
I don't know. It pops up on mine bigger.
Weird. Anyway, yeah, I think you'll like this one. Maybe I don't know. But I'm biased because I really like this one. I seen this one a few years ago, and for me to still remember the plot and some of the characters' names says a lot.
Okay, and where can I watch it at?
Crunchyroll. You can watch it on good old Crunchyroll.
Awesome. So I can actually probably get started on that tonight. How
It,
long is it?
actually, I think it's like 24 episodes.
24 episodes, and I only have to watch 5.
You just only have to watch 5. Let me double check.
But if it's anything like A Place Further Than the Universe, most likely I'll watch all the episodes.
Oh, it has 27 episodes.
Dope.
They have a movie too?
Uh, maybe double feature. Like if I finish it, maybe we watch the movie and we just talk about everything.
Oh my my gosh, there's a movie. Yeah, definitely. We'll keep in touch and talk about this. Holy crap!
That's the sound of Celeste getting excited, guys.
There's a movie. I didn't know there was a movie. Like I said, I watched this years ago, so I didn't know they came out with a movie. Holy crap!
I can tell you right now, just looking at the picture,
Uh huh.
I feel like my favorite character is going to be the long-haired ponytail girl.
All to the left.
Yeah.
She cool. At first, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, we have a
You
whole
watch.
podcast dedicated to that next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, exactly. But no, I really like this one. Like I said, I watched this a few years ago, and as you can tell, me finding out there's a movie to it, like I'm shooketh. I'm definitely gonna finish watching a place further than fuck.
A place further in the universe. Which, fun fact, by
Okay.
the way, guys, is the reason it's called that is because Tokiko, the mother, released a book named A Place Further Than the Universe. And the girls take it with them on their trip. And it's about Antarctica.
The whole reason why everybody's going to Antarctica. But well, at first, and then they all want to go for their own personal reasons too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I like. You know, at first, like I said, the idea was planted, but then they all got on board and were like, "Holy crap! No, like I want to go for for myself."
Yeah. I want to read the manga because I'm hoping the manga has more backstory on the girls. Because
Mhm.
just from me watching it a couple times, I think Hinata's an orphan.
Oh, you
'Cause,
know, I was getting vibes.
yeah, because she's like alone all the time. She left school, and like, what parent is just gonna let you do that? And every time we see her, like even when they make their return trip, she's at a temple, as if she's like praying to her parents.
Hmm. Oh, that also reminds me too. That scene. I'm trying. There's a scene I remember. They're walking and then they're talking about like money issues, and she goes. They're at the temple and she still gives money to pray.
Yeah.
Like I said, I get vibes from her.
So I'm hoping there's a little more backstory in there that they just couldn't fit in 13 episodes.
I'm probably gonna go look at the wiki to be honest. Oh, like I won't have time to read the manga. I mean, because like I definitely like I'm definitely gonna dive into this
Uh huh.
series. Like finish this one. I'm definitely gonna finish it tonight. Definitely gonna finish it tonight. And then start watching that one because I want to watch the movie so bad now.
Okay, you got it. So that's it for us for today. Keep up with us for next week. We're gonna be watching Hana Saku Iroha on Crunchyroll.
Rohan on
Uh,
Crunchyroll.
I don't know if
I
it's
don't know.
available anywhere else. Just quick Google search. You find your own things.
Remember, we support the arts,
Yeah,
so try to watch. I mean, if we
if you
highly
can.
encourage, if you can, we highly encourage you to
If you
always
can't,
watch.
I would say maybe ask a friend who has an account.
Yeah,
Uh,
me and Lizer do this thing where we kind of share.
yeah, so I use her Crunchyroll and she uses my Funimation.
It's honestly the best.
Yeah. Get subs and dubs, bruh.
Yeah.
But that's it for today. I hope if anyone watched along with us that you enjoyed it. Um, if you watched 5 episodes, hopefully you continue on. If you're watching this in the future when I've uploaded it somewhere, I hope you give this a chance. It is a
Definitely.
very
I
good
hope
show.
so too.
Yeah.
Like I said, I honestly was shocked. Like I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but I'm in love. Like I love it.
Uh,
I
feel
hate you for
free
that.
feel feel free to give us a follow. We do this live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/battleizer23. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow the podcast on Twitter, and we also upload it on YouTube and on what is it? Google Podcasts,
And
iTunes, and Spotify.
oh, it's on iTunes now.
Oh yeah,
Because I remember before it wasn't on iTunes. But oh, cool, nice.
I think that it's a
'Cause,
little backlogged on Google because for whatever reason they take like a week to process a single episode, but whatever.
hey, at least it's on iTunes now.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's it. I hope everyone has a good night or day or whatever time you're listening.
Whatever time zone it is.
Yeah, but
And we honestly we appreciate the listen.
yeah, definitely. No matter what platform you're listening on, I know because I check it all the time.
And he gives me updates.
Oh yeah, I'm like, hey Celeste, the VTuber one is still the most popular.
Is it really?
Yep, by like leaps and bounds. Like it has triple the amount of any other so
Oh,
far.
is I did anybody leave any comments or what on that one?
On YouTube we have a couple comments, yeah, but
Oh,
let's not get into that
uh,
right now.
I'm nervous to go look.
No, nothing bad. No.
Okay.
But that's it. Since it's nighttime for me, I'll say goodnight to you guys. So have a good one.
Also, like, also nighttime for me.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Oyasumi. Oyasumi.
Oh my gosh, you say I'm cringe.
Yeah, this is an animation podcast, an anime podcast. Come on.
Oh, Yasumi.
Oyasumi. Good night.
Good night.